been out of the public arena for quite a while. I'm very upset with all the pitting against one another of people over the health care issue. I started a union in Sachem School District. I worked for the school district for 37 years. I'm now a nurse practitioner. We should be doing positive things instead of arguing with one another. As congressman, I fought my whole life for people in unions. I brought a union into the school district against the wishes of the superintendent. And I fought for the people all the time. Why can't you people all get together, whether you're Republican or Democrat, union or non-union? I want to know why, instead of having people argue here, that you can take the stimulus money back, which, as of this morning, they said we don't need that stimulus anymore, and put it towards working out the things that are wrong with health care.
I can't hear. I'm sorry, ma'am. Please start. When the applause started, I couldn't hear. So could you start again?
I'm going in circles.
I'm sorry?
I said I'm going in circles because I'm so upset about this and why you people are all. We have plants. We have citizens here.
And what was your question?
Why can't you take the tort reform and take it back and make it work out the problems that are wrong? Work on tort reform.
The last thing I heard was tort reform. What did you say after that?
I just want you to take positive steps to work out what's wrong with the medical insurance. Okay?
All right.
And I want you to say no to government involvement.
You have to go in the order that I was given to me.
Okay.
What's your name? Let's come across and I'll remember that. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Louise
Actually,
Ritman.
if I may, I believe I heard three separate points, and I would like to address them. One is, can't we try to move forward in a positive direction? The next was pulling back the stimulus funds, if I remember correctly, and then there was a third point, which tort reform. Okay, let me just quickly, please, do all three. Number one, with respect to tort reform, my own view is that one of the inadequacies in H.R. 3200 right now is that it does not address the issue of tort reform, and I believe that we need to do that. I don't think fixing tort reform is a silver bullet, but I think it's part of the solution, and I think we need to move in that direction. The second issue was pulling back the stimulus, and I would say this. Stimulus was $785 billion over 2 years. I'll wait. $285 billion was in the form of tax cuts. 95% of Americans got a tax cut. Every single Social Security recipient got a $250 increase in one of their payments. That's $285 billion of the $500 billion. About $200 billion of it was in direct aid to states so that they would not be forced to lay off thousands and thousands of people. Let me talk about its specific impact. Whenever you're done, let me know. Let's just talk about education. We're here in a beautiful facility in one of the largest school districts on Long Island. We have 142, I believe, school districts on Long Island. 140 of them passed their budgets. Why were they able to pass their budgets? Because the federal government provided, in the case of New York, $2.5 billion to New York to backfill the cuts that would have been imposed on K through 12 education had we not acted. Now thank you. Let me tell you what would have happened had we not acted. School districts would have been forced to make one of two choices, both of which, in my opinion, are unacceptable. One is that they would have been forced, depending on the size of the district, to lay off scores, if not hundreds, of teachers. And the second is that they would have, if they didn't do that, they would have been forced to raise property tax rates when they're already high enough. So the stimulus saved taxpayer dollars, and it saved jobs. And lastly, let me know when you're done. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. The last thing is, why can't we go forward and work together positively on issues? And what I said at the beginning of this evening, I continue to believe. I continue to believe that this issue, health care, is perhaps the most important issue we're going to consider in a long, long time. And I believe that it requires very careful consideration. And consideration means conversations. And conversations mean consultation. And consultation means that we have to sit and listen to one another. And I really hope that we can do that. And I had hoped that we would have more of that this evening. We've had a lot of back and forth, and we'll continue to have back and forth. But if we're going to make the good decisions we need to make, we've got to listen to one another. I'm prepared to do that. I hope you are too. Yes, sir.